Hi guys, today is March 16th, 2020. Not a very good morning on Wall Street, to say the least. Futures are pointing to a 10% drop on the stock market. Actually, futures were suspended because of the limit on how much they could go down. But SPY, which is the ETF for S&P 500, is showing a drop of almost 10% right now, pre-market. So that's not going to be a good day on Wall Street, as more and more coronavirus cases are coming in, especially in New York area, and more people are getting sick. Over 3,000 in the United States, and almost 60 people died in the United States. So more stores are closing, more businesses are closing. So not very good morning for Wall Street, and I don't know if this is gonna go better soon. Over weekend, Fed injected $700 billion. I mean, they said they will inject $700 billion into liquidity into the system, and they said they will. They're cutting their overnight rates to almost zero. So when Fed injects liquidity into the system, that means that they will buy directly from the banks their treasury bills, and that creates more money for banks to loan out. This is pretty much the last measure, as I know, when they restart their quantitative easing program for the Fed after they slash the rates down to zero. So I'm not sure what other tools they have other than increasing their QE programs. So federal government doing everything they can at this point to contain this virus, but we need good news on the coronavirus side, and doesn't look like we're getting it, and that's why the market is tanking. So Dr. Fauci said that things will get worse before it gets better, and that's probably what's going to happen. So let's jump to S&P 500, symbol SPY. So SPY is trading obviously lower, almost 10% lower pre-market, and looks like it's going to retest this area here that was set in 2018 of $2.34 to approximately $234. Okay, so that's going to be the ultimate test, and let's see if we can hold this level on S&P 500. And on Friday, actually, I saw that VIX was down. I mean, VIX is a volatility index that measures volatility. It's called the fear index. Usually when VIX is up, the market is down, and when VIX is down, market is up. So VIX was down on Friday a little bit, not a lot, but there is another sign that's called VVIX, which is a thing that measures the VIX. Okay, so this measures volatility of the VIX, and that instrument was up actually. So that was pointing to me that the volatility is not over, that the VIX is not the fact that the VIX was down is not does not mean that volatility is over and the market is going to be up from that point. Okay, so that was not good news, VVIX. So you have to watch those indicators. Okay, so let's jump to corporate side of things. Apple was fined $1.23 billion by French competition authority for non-competitive practices. Well, Apple is opening a lot lower, and I don't know if $1.23 billion would make a splash in Apple, but still not good. But in general, Apple is going down, and this is a very low price for Apple, and this is going through 200-day moving average for Apple, and I mean, in my opinion, it's not a bad time to be in Apple in general, but obviously Apple is going to go down like everything else, and it's going to go down a lot. Okay, so I'm going to go through stocks that is not a bad place to be in, and I will tell you the stocks that not a good place to be in. So Amazon is opening a lot lower, but Amazon is the place to be in, actually, because they said over the weekend that they're running out of things like essential items, like toilet paper, paper towels, sanitizers, and stuff like that. And also, they said that their Prime delivery is running late. Pretty much before it was 1 to 2 days. Now it's 3 to 4 days on their side. But also, they said in a separate note that they will send out diagnostic kits to test for coronavirus in the future. So Amazon is the online retailer, and things are moving online, and people will try to buy things online. So Amazon is dropping this morning a lot, and that's not a bad buy in my opinion. Okay, so another one is Campbell Soup, CPB. Okay, Campbell Soup was actually downgraded by Goldman on Friday, but I don't think it's a bad place to be. Obviously, they're doing canned products like canned soups, and this is the items that people are stacking right now. Okay, another company is GIS, General Mills, the symbol GIS. The same thing. I mean, they're dropping pre-market, but not a bad place to be. They're doing cereals, baking goods, grain snacks, and things like essential items that people are buying right now. So that's not a bad place to be. Also, the big retailers, wholesalers that are selling those essential items, like Target, is opening a lot lower. TGT and Kroger, Buffett's favorite company, symbol KR, Costco, is dropping a lot this morning, and that's not a bad place to be in. And Walmart said that they will limit their stores and limit their hours for their stores, and the stock is lower, but it's not a bad place to be as well. CVS also, obviously pharmacies like CVS, Walgreens. Okay, WBA, that's opening a little bit lower, of course, as everything else is opening lower, but those stocks are not a bad pickup. Also, like a couple of the high dividend stocks, like IRM on the sell-off, Iron Mountain, that's an information storage and management company, and basically like providing space for clouds, for data centers, where the cloud services are maintained. Another company that I like is APO, Apollo Global Management. It's opening a lot lower, but this is the company that actually thrive in this environment. They buy distressed properties, distressed securities in the environments like this. Back in 2008, they really did well in that bad environment because they had money. They bought a lot of companies penny on the dollar, symbol APO. And of course, I like a lot of pharma companies like Pfizer, PFE, Eli Lilly, GILD, Regeneron, SNY, Sanofi, and GlaxoSmithKline. So I like those companies, especially those that develop vaccine for coronavirus. Speaking of vaccine for coronavirus, I also like my three horses. Innovative Pharmaceuticals is opening a lot lower, but I don't think it's a bad place to be. Not sure why it's opening that low. Moderna is starting clinical trials. I think they're gonna enroll first individuals this week into those trials. And the VIR Biotechnology, VIR is opening lower, but it's not a bad place to be as well. Okay, and also I like the data center stocks, AMD, NVIDIA, things like that. Okay, and Microsoft opening a lot lower. Okay, I don't like leisure travel things, banks. I know some people were upgrading banks a couple of days ago, and that's not a good place to be. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's the wrap for the day, and I hope it will get better tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow.